I never had the go-ahead to terminate.
Let me show you how.
Jet Li is a famous film actor, a great athlete, and the youngest wushu champion in the world. The fighter has many techniques in his arsenal, but his main weapon is wisdom. Despite worldwide fame, Jet Li remains a modest and reserved person. We will tell you about the life of Jet Li in this video. How Jet Li lives and how much he earns. Jet Li, whose real name is Li Lianji, was born in the capital of China, Beijing, on April 26, 1963, and was the fifth and youngest child in the family. When the boy was 2 years old, his father died, and the mother had to raise her children alone. As a child, Li had a calm personality and exemplary behavior. Mom didn't allow her youngest son to swim, ride a bike, or anything that could in theory cause injury, and Li obeyed and didn't even try to lie to her. The future actor went to school at the age of 8 and was a year older than his classmates. The teachers loved the boy because he was honest and humble. He was even allowed to help lead daily physical exercises. Little Lianji stood in front of all the school children and counted out the rhythm with a serious look. In the summer, after finishing the first grade, the local authorities sent him along with all his classmates to the Beijing sports camp, where Li was assigned to join a wushu group. As a hardworking student, he diligently followed the instructions of the coach, which amazed him. Li was the only one of his peers to whom the coach suggested continuing training after the end of the summer vacation. So the boy began to practice daily not only the physical technique of wushu, but also the spiritual practices of this martial art. The coach had high hopes for his student and even helped the poor family with food so that Li's young body would develop fully. When he was 9 years old, Lianji was preparing for his first competition outside of Beijing and looked forward to traveling by train, but his mother was terrified that her child would be so far from home. Li even almost stayed, but it was already impossible to refuse to participate. At the performance, the boy was recognized as the best, and after returning home, he was released from classes in a regular school and transferred to a sports school. In those days, electricity was often cut off in Beijing, but this didn't interfere with the coach's training. During one of these dark training sessions, Li injured his foot but was afraid to say anything about it. With a swollen foot, he trained with everyone for 2 days until it turned out that it was a fracture. But even then, the boy was not released from classes. While the bone was healing, the boy practiced punching. In 1974, at the age of 11, Li went to the United States with the Chinese national team. There, the young athlete performed brilliantly and was noticed by US President Richard Nixon. Nixon was so inspired by Li's combat training, he jokingly invited him to become his bodyguard when Jet grew up. But he replied enchantingly, "I don't want to protect a particular person. I will protect millions of my compatriots." But despite the meeting with the President of the United States, Li still considers the main achievement of that momentous trip to be a change in his outlook and his attitude towards the American people. The boy realized that ordinary people in the United States are friendly and don't wish evil to the people of China. In the United States, Li didn't forget about his mother. He bought her a Swiss watch with the pocket money he received there. Returning to his homeland, the young athlete continued to participate in sports competitions and conquer new heights. Moreover, the 12-year-old boy often had to compete with athletes much older than him, in their 20s or even 30s. Over the next 4 years, Li, along with other Chinese athletes, traveled half the world demonstrating wushu techniques. Li strove to achieve the popularization of wushu in all countries, and he succeeded. Between 1975 and 1979, he became the Chinese wushu champion 5 times. The boy's athletic success contributed to the disclosure of his acting talent. Once at a competition, the athlete was noticed by director Zhang Xinyan. He got the idea to make another Bruce Lee out of the fighter, and what's remarkable, it was Bruce Lee who was Li Lianji's idol as a child. The boy's debut film was The Shaolin Temple, which tells the story of an orphan boy who was brought up in a monastery by Shaolin monks. The film was released in 1982 and was a resounding success. The directors didn't think twice before filming the sequel to the story in 1984, Shaolin Temple 2, Kids from Shaolin. And the final third part, Shaolin Temple 3, North and South Shaolin, appeared on the big screen in 1985. Actually, Li received the nickname Jet after filming in the Shaolin trilogy. During the filming of the movies about Shaolin, the novice actor had a conflict with the director. after which Jet decided to make his own movies and star in them. But never having had a defeat before, Jet Li faced some setbacks. His first and last work as a director was Born to Defense, which was released in 1986 and failed miserably at the box office. In addition, the actor suffered a back injury during filming. Also, the attempt to obtain American citizenship was unsuccessful. The actor began to pay more attention to his personal life and having a family. In 1987, Jet married Huang Qian, an athlete who was a member of the Beijing Wushu team and also co-starred with him in Kids from Shaolin. In marriage, they had 2 daughters, Si and Taimi, but the couple divorced 3 years later. In 1989, the action movie Dragon Fight was released, and in 1991, the world saw another amazing film with Jet Li, Once Upon a Time in China, which was followed by 2 sequels released in the next 2 years. Speaking about the early films with Jet Li, we should mention such movies as The Master, Swordsman 2, The Legend 2, Last Hero in China, Kung Fu Cult Master, The New Legend of Shaolin, My Father is a Hero, Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words, Black Mask, Once Upon a Time in China and America, Hitman, as well as Tai Chi Master and the Bodyguard from Beijing. The action movie Fist of Legend, which appeared on the big screen in 1994, can be called a remake of Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury.
中國人唔可以入賭場，出去！呢度係中國地方，中國人去邊都得。什麼？
And the 1995 picture Meltdown was remembered by the audience for its plot. The director of the film quarreled with the famous Jackie Chan and decided to make a parody of him, openly making fun of the actor and his family in the movie. In 1998, conquering audiences in Asia, Europe, and America, Jet Li made his Hollywood debut in the blockbuster Lethal Weapon 4.
哥，很久没见了。
快又是我们的天下。
His role was first offered to Jackie Chan, but he refused because he didn't want to play a negative character. As for Jet, this was his first role as a villain. In 1999, Lee got married for the second time. He chose Hong Kong actress Nina Lee Chi, who is 2 years older than her husband. They met each other back in 1989 when they co-starred in the movie Dragon Fight. The actor was still married then. Lee and Nina have been dating for a long time and legalized the relationship only after 10 years. Jet Li is sure that Nina is his soulmate and a person who understands him like no other. The couple has 2 daughters, Jane and Jada. 2 years after his brilliant work in Lethal Weapon 4, the actor starred in the dramatic action movie Romeo Must Die.
These guys find you up here, you're gonna have some serious problems, so I suggest you go out the window.
No, I like it this way.
Alright, it's your funeral.
The film paid off at the box office and Lee received a $2.4 million royalty. Another important feature of Jet is his endless love and concern for his family. In order to be with his wife in the last months of pregnancy, he turned down the role in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. In addition to this film, the actor also refused to star in The Matrix. Lee said that the cause was a fight over copyright. He didn't want the rights to the film to be completely transferred to the creators of the picture so that they could own them as intellectual property. While acting in The One in 2001, the actor managed to earn $7.5 million, even though the main role in the movie was originally supposed to be played by Dwayne Johnson.
I am Eula. I'm nobody's bitch. You are mine.
In this film, Jet worked with Jason Statham for the first time. In the same year, the actor played a role in the film Kiss of the Dragon, earning $5 million.
What did you do to me?
I put a needle in your neck.
That's it?
In a certain point. Very forbidden. It's called the Kiss of the Dragon.
An interesting fact from this film is that the tunnel in which Jet Li's character is overtaken by the French police is the same tunnel in which Princess Diana died in 1997. In one of the scenes, Jet's character attacks Pimp Lupo, played by Max Ryan. It was assumed that the dialogue between the actors would be filmed separately from the fight. But when they finished exchanging lines, the director for some reason didn't say cut, and Lee made a punch. This take was included in the final version of the movie, along with Ryan's completely genuine surprise. This incident came in handy because the filmmakers had to adjust the fights to the tastes of the audience, who wanted to see more realistic scenes. The fight scene between the characters of Jet Li and Cyril Raffaelli even had to be slowed down as the actors were moving too fast. To star in the 2002 film Hero, Jet Li agreed to a fee reduction to $11 million. Jackie Chan was offered to star in the role of the Emperor, but he refused. It was the most expensive Chinese movie by the time of its release. Another action movie with Li in the lead role, Cradle to the Grave, was released in 2003. In 2004, information appeared in the media about the death of the great actor and athlete. As it turned out, he was on vacation with his family in the Maldives during the tsunami. Fortunately, the information about his death turned out to be only a rumor. Jet survived, only injured his leg, saving his daughter. After this incident, the actor spends most of his time with his wife and children. In 2005, Luc Besson wrote the script for Danny the Dog specifically for Jet Li.
You big fucking asshole!
The movie features not only the longest-running fight scene with Li in his career, but also the most violent one. The next film starring the actor was Fearless.
没事吧？
没事儿。
这样没事。
别跑！
Its creators wanted to name the picture The Legend of the Fighter, but then it turned out that such a film already existed. For ethical reasons, Li refused to perform some of the techniques planned by the fight director. Elements such as a slap in the face or a blow with the back of the head seemed to the actor too incorrect in relation to Europeans and Americans. In addition to hand-to-hand fights, the action movie also features a scene of a battle with melee weapons. Anthony DeLongis and Jet Li broke at least 6 swords during the filming. At that time, Jet was engaged in charitable activities and has been an ambassador for the Red Cross since 2006. The athlete is a follower of Tibetan Buddhism. He even met personally with the Dalai Lama. He is attracted to the philosophy of Wushu, but according to Li, this kind of martial arts used for self-defense doesn't stand up to criticism. He strives to help young Chinese people understand what life is and shares his knowledge of Buddhism. It should be noted that not all of Jet Li's films were successful. One of the unsuccessful works was the movie War, filmed in 2007. The actor has stated in several interviews that he is not happy with either this film or its production. He went so far as to say that the film sucked and didn't trust the director Philip Atwell. Even halfway through filming, he knew he would get mediocre ratings instead of profits. In late 2007, Li returned to his homeland and starred in the Sino-Hong Kong film The Warlords. The main focus of the film was not on the martial arts but on the dramatic component. For this work, Jet received a Hong Kong Film Award nomination for Best Actor. The actor's fee for this film was $13 million. In the spring of 2007, Li founded his own nonprofit foundation, One Foundation, which aims to combat the consequences of natural disasters, including psychological trauma. In 2008, Li made his first screen appearance alongside martial arts veteran Jackie Chan in Rob Minkoff's action-adventure The Forbidden Kingdom.
You punch him again. Snake!
It's not right for snake. Perhaps eagle.
Soon Jet starred as the main villain in the fantasy action movie The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor with Maria Bello and Brendan Fraser. After a long period of work in the United States, the actor was finally able to obtain American citizenship, but he renounced it in 2009 and also renounced Chinese citizenship in favor of Singapore citizenship. Jet chose this country because of the quality education system his younger daughters needed. Also in the same year, Li starred in the military drama The Founding of a Republic and launched his own fitness program called Wuji, which consists of elements of Wushu, yoga, and Pilates. Adidas soon launched the clothing line for this program emblazoned with the initials JL. Jet's return to the film industry after a year-long hiatus took place on the set of the action movie The Expendables.
When I get hurt, the only is bigger. Because I'm smaller. When I travel, I need to go farther.
I know, because you're smaller, right?
Yes.
Which brought together such stars as Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and Mickey Rourke. In 2012-2014, Li played the same role in the sequels The Expendables 2 and The Expendables 3. In 2010, Jet Li became the first Asian face of the luxury Swiss watch company Hublot. In 2011, Jet created the Taji Zen lifestyle company with the Chinese entrepreneur Jack Ma, founder of the Alibaba Group. The company's main mission is health and happiness for all through the art of Tai Chi. In the following years, the following movies starring Jet Li were released: the drama Ocean Heaven, Flying Swords of Dragon Gate, The Sorcerer and the White Snake, Badges of Fury, League of Gods, and Gangshou Dao. The latest and we hope not the last movie that Jet Li starred in was Mulan, released in 2020, in which he played the role of the Emperor.
Hua Mulan, the people owe you a debt of thanks. I owe you my life.
Since 2016, the actor has been actively maintaining his personal page on Instagram, publishing his photos. A photo of actor Jet Li got on social media, in which he looked so bad that fans were seriously worried. The actor admitted that he's been suffering from hyperthyroidism since 2010, but he assures everyone that everything is fine with him. Despite his deteriorating health, the actor has no plans to leave the film industry and continues to act in various projects. "If I leave now, I will end up in a wheelchair later," he commented on his decision. "But if I don't leave, I will end up in a wheelchair, but it will be encrusted with diamonds." In his spare time, Jet plays badminton and ping pong, rides a bicycle, reads and meditates. Martial arts superstar Jet Li turned 57 on April 26, 2020. On his birthday, he shared the best gift for his fans: family photos. In 2020, the actor's net worth was $250 million. His income from filming is the highest among Chinese movie stars. Jet's wife Nina's hometown of Shanghai is home to the actor's huge mansion worth 200 million won, about $30 million. The actor bought it in 2008, according to rumors, as a dowry for one of his daughters, but never lived in it. Since then, the house has fallen into disrepair and even was converted into a hostel for security guards. In Singapore, in Bukit Timah, the actor owns an elite bungalow for 20 million Singapore dollars, or 15 million US dollars. It is also known that the actor owns real estate in Los Angeles and lives there when he comes to the United States. Jet Li is not a big car enthusiast. He has a BMW 745 Li and a Spyker C8 Spider. Even though the actor lives in Singapore, having renounced his Chinese citizenship, he remains the favorite actor of his compatriots. What made Jet Li so successful? What do you think?
How Catherine Zeta-Jones lives and how much she earns. Catherine Zeta-Jones was born in Wales on September 25, 1969. The prefix Zeta is not part of her surname. It was originally her second name, given in honor of her maternal grandmother. According to family legend, the mother of that grandmother arrived in the UK from Ireland on a ship called Zeta and named her daughter after it. When the girl started her acting career, she decided to include her middle name in her stage name in order to stand out from other Catherine Jones. Her father, David James Jones, a Welsh descendant, worked in a bakery as a baker and a cashier to feed his large family. Aside from little Catherine, they had two sons. The family was poor. They lived in a low-income neighborhood in the coastal Welsh town of Swansea. Mother Patricia was a seamstress who helped them make ends meet. This lasted until the 80s, when the family suddenly became wealthy. The parents bought a lottery ticket, which brought them £100,000, which allowed them to not only buy their own pastry shop and a decent house in a good area of Swansea, but also to pay for a dance studio for their daughter, which she dreamed of. It should be noted that no one in the family except Catherine was interested in art. At a very young age, she was on the brink of death because of illness. That's why she was raised like a princess, surrounded by attention. By the way, the little scar on her neck was left as a result of the tracheal surgery that saved her life. However, the girl didn't grow up spoiled, striking others with her discipline. At the age of 4, Catherine danced on holidays and sang in the choir at the local church, where everyone who saw her predicted a great acting future for her. From the age of 7, she began to engage in choreography with full dedication, making herself a strict schedule for the whole week. 3 years later, Jones was already shining on the stage of the City Theater, and after another 4 years, she managed to pass the casting for the production of The Pajama Game. This was her first serious role. After the tour was over, the young actress left school without obtaining O-levels and went to London. There, she stormed all kinds of castings, not missing a single opportunity to make it to the big screen. During this period, she had a passionate relationship with the famous TV presenter John Leslie. Catherine was so carried away by the charming Scotsman that she planned to spend her whole life with him. Alas, his personality turned out to be too difficult. The future star suffered from fits of jealousy from her partner, which eventually led to a breakup. As for her acting, at first Catherine's catch was small. She was chosen only as the second understudy to the lead actress of the musical 42nd Street. The year 1990 was more successful for her as she was cast for the role of Scheherazade in the film 1001 Nights. The young, talented beauty was immediately noticed, and a year later, she got a role in the series The Darling Buds of May. Critics and British viewers were delighted, and very soon, Catherine headed off to conquer Hollywood. She immediately had a chance to play in the episode of George Lucas's television series, The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which boosted her career in Hollywood. Legend has it that her role of dancer Maya impressed Steven Spielberg so much that he advised to invite her to the role of Zorro's beloved. According to another story, Spielberg noticed the actress while watching the miniseries Titanic, which was released in 1996. In the meantime, Catherine starred in a number of TV movies, including Christopher Columbus, The Discovery, Splitting Heirs, The Return of the Native, and Catherine the Great, as well as the miniseries The Cinder Path. They were followed by the comedy drama Blue Juice and the superhero movie The Phantom, though they were not very popular with the audience. During the same period, the actress was offered to play the role of Trinity in the cult classic movie The Matrix, but she refused. In the mid-90s, the girl was in a relationship with the Scottish actor Angus MacFadyen. They were even engaged, but they broke up before the wedding. In 1998, the fast-paced action film The Mask of Zorro stormed onto the screens. The shooting was also extremely intense and was accompanied by a lot of curious details and events. The role of Elena could go to Penelope Cruz, Swedish actress Isabella Scorupco, or passionate singer Shakira. But it was Catherine who got lucky. In order to fit into the role perfectly, the actress, as she usually does, eagerly began to learn disciplines useful for the filming: horse riding, fencing, dancing, Spanish. She was particularly successful in learning the latter. So much so that people who didn't know her biography could swear that she was a real Spaniard. The film was a resounding success, earning $250 million at the box office with a budget of $95 million, and also scored 2 Oscar and Golden Globe nominations.
Would you care to try something more robust? Or do you feel unequal to the task?
No, on the contrary, Don Alejandro. I think only of your distaste for perspiration.
In the same year, another small event happened that affected the rest of Zeta-Jones' life. The actress made an unforgettable impression on the Hollywood titan Michael Douglas, so much so that he immediately wanted her to become the mother of his children. So, as soon as he could, he started looking for a way to meet her. The first conversation happened during a festival in France and did not impress the actress. The experienced seducer Douglas played his trump cards right away, dumping his plans on her. But Catherine just laughed it off. But the actor had no plans to give up. He showered the girl with gifts, flowers, and she didn't even notice how she began to talk to him for hours on the phone and also to dream of watching movies with him and cooking delicious dinners. From that moment on, persistent courtship turned into a traditional relationship. In 1999, Catherine was featured in the films The Haunting and Entrapment. The latter is called one of the best crime films. It made a real splash in the industry. The main male role of an imposing thief was played by Sean Connery. Zeta-Jones kept up with her legendary partner and gave her best on the set. So, she performed a dangerous stunt, jumping from a ceiling beam onto a table while doing a backflip. The film earned $212 million at the box office with a relatively small budget and was very popular with the audience. Fans especially note the scene of Catherine passing through a grid of laser beams in which she shows the wonders of plasticity and grace. Also noteworthy are the shots when Connery's character comes to interrogate Catherine. She was lying under just a white sheet, and at this moment she is actually completely naked.
I called you at 4:30 this morning.
I was home in bed.
You didn't pick up.
I didn't want to pick up.
You had company.
He came in the window.
How romantic.
I think that's how he got in.
The year 2000 was marked by a landmark event for Catherine and Michael, who learned that they would become parents. On New Year's Eve 2000, he proposed to his beloved and presented an antique ring worth $1 million. However, the purest 10-carat diamond and Michael's passionate desire to marry his beloved as soon as possible were somewhat overshadowed by the fact that the actor was still legally married. To solve this problem, the groom needed to give his ex a huge payoff of $45 million, and according to other sources, $60 million. In August, the Douglas couple had a son, whom they named Dylan. And in November of the same year, they had a luxurious wedding worth $1.5 million. The celebration took place at the famous Plaza Hotel in New York, and the bride's dress alone cost $250,000. The star's guests, including Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, Sharon Stone, Steven Spielberg, Jennifer Aniston, had fun and congratulated the newlyweds. Since Catherine and Michael understood the absurdity of trying to hide from the press on such a day, they pulled a trick and sold the rights to cover the event to the British magazine OK. The journalists were very interested in the couple, largely because of the large age difference. A fun fact is that the couple were born on the same day with a difference of 25 years. Few people believe that something could come out of this relationship, but as life has shown, the marriage of two stars turned out to be extremely strong, although they had to go through a lot. Catherine herself calls the secrets of a successful marriage a sense of humor and respect, although apparently the marriage contract, which the actress insisted on before answering the cherished yes, played a significant role. According to its terms, in case of infidelity, Michael is obliged to pay his wife a decent amount for each year of living together. The exact figure is unknown, but the range is between $1 million and $3 million. In 2000, the musical drama High Fidelity and the thriller Traffic were released, in which the actress starred while pregnant with her son. For this work, Catherine received a fee of $3 million and a Golden Globe nomination.
I'm European. I say that to my doctor. I'm European. I'm allowed to drink red wine.
Oh, my doctor said it was fine when I was pregnant. A glass a week,
After my amnio,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Okay, now you can go and have a glass of red wine."
You're like, I
had
need it.
2.
In 2001, Zeta-Jones appeared in the movie America's Sweethearts. By that time, Catherine's revenue was growing rapidly and amounted to $5 million. But the real triumph for Catherine was the adaptation of the Broadway musical Chicago. It should be noted that the plot of the drama is based on real events that took place in the US in the early 20th century. The first attempt at a film adaptation was made by Miramax back in 1994, and before that, the rights of the production were bought by director Bob Fosse. According to his idea, the main roles were to be played by Liza Minnelli, Goldie Hawn, and Frank Sinatra. But due to the death of Fosse, the project was abandoned. The director of the 2002 film, Rob Marshall, considered Charlize Theron, Madonna, Angelina Jolie, and Britney Spears for the leading female roles. And that's not the whole list. When it came to Zeta-Jones, she was immediately offered the role of Roxy Hart. But the actress wanted to play Velma Kelly. She liked the song All That Jazz so much that she was happy to sacrifice both the main role and her gorgeous curls, which she cut to a neat bob with perfectly straight bangs. She did it on purpose so that the long hair falling over her face would not allow the audience to doubt that she performs all the dance routines in the film on her own. Then, by the way, the actress said that working in a musical was almost as painful and exciting at the same time as having a baby.
No. I danced in the chorus.
Oh.
Well, that was before I met my husband, Amos.
Look, honey, you want some advice? Here it is, direct from me to you. Keep your paws off my underwear, okay?
Her Velma Kelly was loved not only by ordinary viewers, but also by professionals. For the role, the actress received a fee of $8 million, a nomination for a Golden Globe Award, and was also awarded an Oscar. The beauty arrived at the ceremony in a gorgeous black dress that did not conceal her rounded belly. The ceremony took place on the eve of her second childbirth. In 2003, the couple had a daughter, Catherine Zeta. In the same year, 2 movies starring Zeta-Jones appeared on the screens at once. These are the animated film Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, in which she voiced one of the main characters, and the romantic comedy Intolerable Cruelty. 2004 brought her work on the memorable films The Terminal and Ocean's 12.
The French police think he's better than Lamarck.
Well, he is French.
Let me give you some advice. Find out how you offended him, apologize, beg for mercy.
The following year, a sequel to the film about the dashing vigilante was released. Catherine received $10 million for The Legend of Zorro. But all in all, the film made a strange impression. It received negative reviews, although it earned $142 million at the box office.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I fell for it. Husband promises to quit, gullible wife believes him. How could I be so stupid?
In 2007, 2 more films were released: the supernatural romance film Death-Defying Acts and the romantic comedy drama No Reservations. In fact, this was a remake of the German film Mostly Martha, which was reworked by the not-too-famous director Scott Hicks. But alas, it was not a masterpiece. Although the actress tried very hard and even worked incognito as a waitress in an Italian restaurant where visitors marveled at the resemblance of the employee to the celebrity.
Nick is an excellent. I know nothing about him. I have no idea what he's some credit. He was a sous chef at El Treviso.
Italian? You bring a sous chef from an Italian restaurant, and I'm the one in therapy?
This was followed by another obscure film, The Rebound, which was shot in New York, Istanbul, and Paris. The hard work and childbirth left a mark on the actress, and soon Catherine began to show symptoms of bipolar affective disorder. This disorder is described by alternating phases of heightened activity and depression, and significantly impairs one's life. Her star spouse was beginning to grow weary of this state of affairs, but then, like a thunderbolt from a clear sky, the news of his own illness came. In 2010, doctors diagnosed Michael with a terrible illness, laryngeal cancer. All this happened while Douglas's first son, Cameron, was arrested, charged with drug trafficking, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Here, Catherine immediately switched and devoted all her energy to help her beloved spouse. A year later, Michael Douglas publicly announced that he had defeated cancer and returned to filming. Catherine, too, plunged into the familiar depths of cinema. In 2 years, she managed to appear in 6 films: Lay the Favorite, Rock of Ages, Playing for Keeps, Broken City, Side Effects, and Red 2.
How are things?
Yeah, Frank, how are things?
Sarah? This is Katya.
Yeah, hi.
I need to speak to you.
And at that moment, the actress's illness re-emerged in her and Michael's life with renewed vigor. This time, Douglas lost his nerve. He said that because of the depression that his wife was prone to, it was impossible to live with her, after which the couple announced their separation and the beginning of the divorce process. Michael also hinted that his wife was addicted to hard liquor because of her condition. However, 3 months later, the couple reunited. As reported, Zeta-Jones underwent a course of intensive therapy, and she did get better. She resumed her acting career and appeared in the series Queen America, Feud, and Prodigal Son, as well as the films Dad's Army and Cocaine Godmother. In 2022, Catherine hit a new moment of stardom. In the Netflix series Wednesday, which became a worldwide hit, the actress played the role of Morticia Adams, the mother of an unusual and daring girl protagonist.
What is this, a kidnapping?
Would you like that? Because I think I'm up to it. You do move me. I don't know why, but you do move me. In unusual places.
Fans and critics who initially doubted this casting decision in the end agree that the actress's performance is worthy of praise. The duet of Catherine and the Puerto Rican actor Luis Guzman, who played her husband in the series, was particularly delightful. Despite a significant break in work and the troubles, Catherine has remained in good shape. Now, viewers can see her in the Disney series National Treasure: Edge of History. It should be noted that the performance of the actress has always been generously paid. Now, Catherine Zeta-Jones, once a poor girl from the outskirts of Swansea, is a very rich lady. Her fortune is estimated at $150 million, and it's not just income from filming. It is reported that 1 second of the actress's advertising time cost about 4,000 euros. Over the years, she starred in advertisements for Elizabeth Arden Cosmetics, the Visa payment system, and Alfa Romeo cars. A 2-year contract with the mobile operator T-Mobile brought the actress $20 million, and in 2019, she was seen in a Fendi commercial where she starred with her daughter. A couple of years ago, Zeta-Jones launched her own line of shoes in collaboration with the Butterfly Twist brand, known for its eco-friendly approach to production. In addition to the shoe collection, Catherine produces makeup, sportswear, and household goods under her own brand, Casa Zeta-Jones. Over the years of marriage, Zeta-Jones and Douglas have accumulated a high-end real estate portfolio. The star couple has a spacious apartment in New York with a view of Central Park, which they recently decided to sell. At first, the price was set at $21.5 million, but at the beginning of 2022, the couple decided to lower it to $19.5 million. Potential buyers will get a luxury penthouse with 4 bedrooms, a spacious living room, and a dressing room made in classic style. Apparently, in 2019, the family was going to rotate the property. They sold 12 acres of land in Westchester County, New York, which they bought in 2015 for $11 million, and managed to double the price. In the same year, they purchased a house in the same state worth $4.5 million. Also in 2019, an English-style villa in Bermuda worth $10.6 million was put up for sale, but in the end, the sale didn't take place, and the lot was withdrawn from auction. Catherine and Michael spent a lot of time in the house after the wedding, so their children didn't even suspect at first that they were growing up in a family of Hollywood celebrities. The couple has a snow-white villa hidden in lush greenery in Spanish Majorca, which in the 19th century attracted the European nobility. The 10-bedroom house is decorated with great love, its design is tasteful and discreetly luxurious. Many of the interior decorations and furniture were chosen directly by the owners. The estate is quite large, totaling about 10,000 square feet. There is a formal dining room, several living rooms decorated with antiques, which Douglas is very passionate about. The estimated cost of this property is $33 million, but since Michael's ex-wife remains the co-owner of the property, it cannot be sold. The Hollywood diva owns a black Lexus SUV worth $130,000, which she drives in everyday life. Douglas and Zeta-Jones were once spotted driving around Wales in a used Jaguar. As it turned out later, the couple arrived in the actress's hometown to participate in a golf competition. Catherine Zeta-Jones is a woman who impresses not only with her beauty, but also with her stunning determination. No matter what happens, she does not give up and looks into the face of any life circumstances, boldly challenging them. She is not afraid of experiments or difficult tasks. The musical Cleo will be released soon, in which the actress will play the fatal Egyptian queen, Cleopatra. What movie with this actress do you like the most?
Thank you. I had a wonderful time.
Unfortunate that it has to end.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.